Welcome to the 11th episode of Season Ticket. I'm Michael.
And I'm Max. The Ferry football team plays Clearview on Friday.
The cross-country team has their conference meet this Saturday. Good luck to the cross-country team.
The girls and boys soccer teams start playoff games this Saturday and Monday. Our debate is, who is your Heisman winner?
I got Bryce Petty because his team is playing great football so far, and he's giving his offense all they need. And there was a story about how he was gray-shirted, which meant he had to start with a junior college and then worked his way up the depth chart. He was a backup for RG3, and now these past 2 years he's been playing great, and I think he leads Baylor to the Final Four playoff. And who's your pick?
I got Dak Prescott. I'm hopping on his bandwagon a little bit. He's just having a huge year, and I think playing in the SEC helps him, because they were going against good defenses every week and putting up big numbers. Surely impresses voters.
Yeah, and I think being undefeated at this stage in the year is really key, and that's why I won't pick Gurley right now. Okay, and speaking of Todd Gurley not being in the Heisman, a recent news about him getting suspended because of receiving benefits for his likeness and autograph. What do you think about players getting paid for anything and overall in college sports?
I think they should get paid just because some of them bring in tons of money to the school, but you can't pay them all. Big schools could probably pay football and basketball players, but you can't pay the lower revenue sports like, cross countries and hockey and that stuff. But the NCAA should really stop punishing people for stupid stuff like selling their autographs, like just signing their name and if they don't want them signing jerseys and stuff, then don't sell jerseys with their number on it.
Yeah, and I really think this is a growing problem in the NCAA. They've even stopped making the NCAA video games, which I've been a big fan of. Players are in the training for 6-7 hours a day when their season is in store. And if you're working at a job for 6-7 hours a day, you're going to be making a lot of money. And they make so much money for their school, it's not even funny. Miami became a much bigger city and university after the U started.
In the 1980s.
Imagine how much money Michigan makes per tickets with the 110,000 people every game. I mean, that's so much money that the football players are making for the school, and they're not getting anything besides a free education, which is great, but they really need to get more stuff.
Yeah, and Johnny Manziel, when he was playing at A&M, brought in billions to the university. I mean, you can't pay them all, but, they should be making some sort of profit.
But now we're going to go into our upset special of the week, and I have USC over Arizona because Arizona is ranked way too high after one win over Oregon, and I think they're going to fall back down to earth and lose to USC. What's your upset?
I got Duke over Georgia Tech. Duke is a 4-1 team, up-and-coming program. And I think Duke gets a big win over a ranked team.
Yeah, and TCU plays Baylor this week, and my Heisman pick, Bryce Petty, I think runs and throws Baylor all over the field, and I think this is a blowout. What about you?
I got to agree with you.
Oregon plays UCLA. Who do you have, Max?
I got Oregon with a big game. Marcus Mariota has a big game after last week's mess.
Yeah, and I'm going to take UCLA in a bounce-back game for both teams. I think Brent Hundley has a big game.
Auburn plays Missouri, and I got Dak Prescott and company to win this one.
I got Auburn's running attack being too much for the defense of Mississippi State.
In the Ole Miss versus Texas A&M game, we both have Ole Miss.
Georgia plays Missouri, and I have Georgia. How about you, Max?
I got Missouri in a good game. Matty Mock, Ohio kid, I think he's going to have a big day.
LSU plays Florida, and we both have LSU because Jeff Driscoll hasn't been playing well, and their backup was recently suspended.
Washington plays Cal, and I have Washington.
I got Cal because they're at home and playing good football so far.
Penn State plays Michigan. We both have Penn State.
The Patriots play the Bills. Who do you have?
I have the Patriots. They have a lot of momentum after last week's blowout of the Bengals.
I got the Bills. The Patriots have been one good game, then one bad game, and I think that continues with a letdown against a weak Bills team.
Bengals play the Panthers, and we both have the Bengals.
The Steelers play the Browns. I got the Browns because they're a resilient bunch.
I have the Browns, too.
The Bears play the Falcons, and we both have the Bears.
Cowboys play the Seahawks. Who do you have, Mike?
I got the Seahawks. I love the defense, and even though the Cowboys are getting some really big wins, Marshawn Lynch will run all over that defense.
I have Dallas in an upset. They've won a bunch of good games this year, and I think Des Bryant has his way with Richard Sherman.
Yeah, and the Giants play the Eagles, and we both have the Eagles. That will wrap it up for the 11th episode of Season Ticket. Make sure you come back next week as we recap all of these games.